Everybody, Trikke Andy here. One of the things people are having a problem with is how to adjust the new main axle. So this is just going to be a quick little overview on how to do it. So the first thing I want to do is if it's dry, this will be real squeaky. So you see we have some injection points here to put grease in. But if I tried to put the grease in right now, the grease doesn't really have anywhere to go because this is really tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 4mm here, and this collar is locked. But I need to free this bolt first, right? So I'm going to actually just use this as a lever to hold it so that I can pop that bolt free. So I'm going to take this bolt out, loosen it, come up on this side, come on this side. Notice that there's a gap between where the flat of this is and the inside of the collar, meaning there's a little bit of space. So when I tighten this, it literally squeezes this whole package together. So my collar's loose now, right? And now I've got a place to push the grease. I want to get perpendicular. You notice that they're a little offset, so I want to get perpendicular to the hole. Push the grease in, squeeze, and you can see the grease starting to come out. And that's all I need to see. Is just get a little bit of grease going out there. Bam. Bam. Okay, so we're all greased up, but one of the things that happens is this bolt on this side tends to come loose sometimes. So what I'm going to do, you can see that here's my bolt, and right now this one is super tight, right? It's working. I like to Loctite this onto this shaft, and how I do that, come around to this side, there is a 8mm socket hole right here. So what I'm going to do is grab my 8mm, and I can stick it in there, and I can actually hold the shaft. You can see that I can actually, oops, see how I can rotate the shaft because I'm actually inside where the threads are. This will allow me to lock this bolt. I'll take this off, put some thread locker on there, and lock it. You notice that I'm doing this first. It's the first thing I'm going to do is secure this to the shaft so that this does not come loose, right? So I got Loctite on that. It's in. Mine's tight at this point, but I think you get the idea. Basically what I'd be doing is put a Loctite, use the red because the red is the high strength, and I'll drop some drops on there, right? Just get some drop. I would use red, but this happens to be blue, right? And then you're going to do it to this side too. So next, get that sucker into place. Make sure that your washers are in place. I'm going to take my collar here, put my collar back on. Going the other way. Okay, so my collar's on. Then I'm going to take my bolt. It's got a little bit of Loctite on there. And you can see on this side, you see the gap, right? You can see that the shaft is actually lower than the face of this. So that when I squeeze this together, when I bolt this together, it's going to pull all this together, but I still have room to pull it tight. So let's walk this in. Now, I'm going to snug it up, right? Make it nice, firm, tight. Don't over tighten it. Then at this point, I'll take the 4mm, lock down the collar, so that now this bolt and this collar are actually doing all the work. At this point, I could actually, if this one were to fall out, really wouldn't matter, right? Because this is what's doing the work. Then I'll take this, and I just want to take this and somewhat lock it into this. So give it a little, get this back on over here. And now the main axle is done and retightened. So that's in a nutshell how you tighten up your main axle. Have fun with it. If you have questions, check us out at southbaytrikke.com. I'll see you around the next turn.